Off in Bitcoin, in altcoins, in AI. There's so many amazing price points for some of your favorite projects. What is our strategy and what are we looking to do? We're going to have that conversation. Also, very exciting show today. We have an in-studio guest. We also have a call-in guest. Our in-studio guest, a lot of you may know, especially if you're a fan of Cardano, is none other than Adam Dean, who is a developer, a core contributor, and a big voice in the Cardano ecosystem. We're going to pick his brain as far as what's going on. And then we were talking before the show. I didn't know this was this close to happening. We'll talk about exactly what it was. Also, we have the founder of Mode Network joining us. Mode Network, if you're not familiar, is an infrastructure play for AI and AI agents. James will be joining us in about 30 minutes to break down what they're doing and the future of AI and what that looks like. We're also going to talk a little bit about Trump and the people he's putting in place and a new subcommittee that has been born. Who is heading it? What does it look like? And are we going to see the IMF go from anti-Bitcoin to pro-Bitcoin? A lot of great conversations today. Let's get started. Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content where we take all boring, stale information, repackage that whole thing up in a fun and sexy way. What a time to be alive if you decide to buy when the prices are up and everything's expensive and now you're gone, and shame on you. This is how money is made. This is how millionaires get to where they're at. And so we're going to talk about what projects are undervalued, what is at a amazing price. Because where others are fearful at this point.
Look what you started with.
What?
Look at all those roach emojis. Oh, Adam's probably like, what the hell is that? Speaking of Adam, we have Adam joining us in the studio. Adam, how you doing, man?
Hey guys, doing good. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for joining us. You know, last time you were in here, you said that Rocco was still in the filming room in the little corner. And well, how times have changed. And so we're excited to have you joining us today. We're going to talk some crypto, but we're definitely going to talk some Cardano. But first, what a day to start the show off. I want to start the show off today with a prayer. Chase, pull up my lap. I want to start today with a prayer.
Please, somebody tag in Donald Trump. Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump, please. I'm asking you. Please save me. Please save me. Please get these people away from me. In dear God's name, please stop me.
So that's everyone in crypto right now, waiting for Trump to get back in office. I have some news here. So a couple things, you know, we're only about 7 days away from the inauguration. Now, why are we talking about politics here? It's because all the people that Trump has selected, now they still have to get confirmed by the Senate, but all the people he selected to run the largest agencies, a lot of it has to do with, you know, directly affects financial markets and crypto. A lot of those people are very pro-crypto. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, is this priced in? What is it going to look like? Everyone's just anxiously waiting. I want to share this article here from Cointelegraph. Trump inauguration nears, but crypto promises could take some time. This is according to NYDIG. NYDIG Global Head of Research, Greg Cipollaro, said in a January 10th research note that it would, quote, caution on expecting immediate changes to crypto policy, even with Trump taking office on January 20th. He goes on to say, quote, key officials still need to be named. Those that have been named need to go through the confirmation process. And then once confirmed, they need to assemble their staff. One of those people is his treasury pick, Scott Bessent, reveals up to $500,000 in Bitcoin that he currently holds. Rob, I want to ask you first. There's a lot of talk about, hey, is Trump, the Trump presidency priced in? People are expecting as soon as he takes office, prices go. What's your gauge on where we're at? And do you kind of agree with what NYDIG is saying here? Hey, even when he gets in, this thing's going to take some time. Could we see maybe nothing happen from a executive order or legislative process until maybe like the second half of 2025?
Been kind of my viewpoint, not just today, but
over the last, I'd say, month was like, calm down. As much as we love crypto, let's be honest, there's a lot of problems with this country. Crypto's recently became a campaign topic and something that was ran on by Donald Trump. He kind of spearheaded making America great for crypto, but there's also a lot of promises delivered by Donald Trump through his campaign. And in doing so, how high up the leaderboard or how high up the priority list is crypto. I mean, I selfishly say it's a number one priority, but honestly, let's look it over through the lens of a politician. Probably not much is going to happen in the first couple of weeks. That's for sure. I don't think much. I would be very shocked that if within week one we get some kind of executive order towards crypto. I do think that Donald Trump will fulfill his promises on making regulation a little bit clearer, making regulation a little bit more progressive and forward-thinking for the United States. That's coming. I think it's a little ways down the road. I think don't dismiss that. I think a lot of what we're going to see as far as change in the United States is going to come from the Congress and congressional change and congressional hearings. And I think that's where most of that's going to happen. And if that is where the change happens, ladies and gentlemen, well, Congress moves extremely slow. So put your seatbelts on or take your seatbelts off, whichever one it is.
I was going to say, it's when the airplane goes slow, we take the seatbelts off.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little while. However, with that said, I think that the broader economies, I think that the U.S. economy will, nothing's set for sure. There's always the possibility that Donald Trump comes in office, enacts all kinds of tariffs, prices for imports skyrocket. Maybe that affects inflation, and it might not be the best. There's a chance for a downturn in the economy. Let's be honest. But with that said, we know that we had a very successful economy under Donald Trump, and I also think that with tax breaks, the SEC changing, I think that we're lining up to get a very bullish economic performance as soon as Donald Trump hits office, and I think that is also going to transition over to crypto. But I think it's going to take some time, and so long story short. February, it's coming, baby. February is when Donald Trump and Congress get this ball rolling. I do think that the U.S. is going to be the leader in stable coins. And I wanted to mention that because I think that there's so much value in stable coins. And I think that, the lifeblood of our ecosystem is through stable coins. You could argue that it's Bitcoin and stable coins that make up crypto. Everything goes through either one or the other. And so I think the U.S. being pro Bitcoin, which we are currently, if we bring in a stablecoin adoption, and I think that's going to be.
Imagine that being integrated in like your bank. That's coming, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think what we're seeing out of Zelle right now, these cash apps and all of those, I think we're going to get that out of.
For one of our business accounts, there's a cap on how much money I can sell someone. It's pretty dumb. Anyways, I'm curious, Adam, what are your thoughts on kind of this conversation we're having here? Do you agree with what Rob says, or do you think 2025 crypto's not even going to be at the forefront of what this administration does?
I don't know. I think hopefully I would hope that it is, but I generally try to ignore politics because usually I just get like a seething rage and then have to throw something through a wall. So I try to avoid it as much as possible. But I'd be happy with less adversarial policy if we can get to not worrying about whether or not we're going to go to jail for writing a new DApp. I think that's going to unlock a lot of the creative potential and opportunities for those of us that are here in the U.S. developing in the cryptocurrency space. So
I will say 1 week from today. 1 week from today.
Oh yeah, it is 1 week.
Is exactly Gary Gensler's final day in office. So
hallelujah. I'll say a prayer for that.
I'm going to go.
And I get an amen.
I'm buying a nothing bundt cake. You ever had nothing bundt cake?
I don't know why you like those.
Okay, fine.
And I'll go to. You know what's funny is that I've had 2 birthdays in a row where this man has brought me in nothing bundt cake.
That's not true.
And the first birthday,
that's not true.
The first birthday,
you got
I was like,
tiramisu cake last night
before that because I had to make it obvious that I did not like. Anyways, year 1, you got me nothing bundt cake, and I was like, I don't like nothing bundt cake.
But you tried it. You said it was good.
No, I did not say it was good. I said I don't like it, and I don't like it. And then next year, enrolls in another nothing bundt cake, and I'm like, again?
Listen, dude, how about just a thank you, okay? Adam, I want to ask you, and maybe you have some inside info, maybe you don't, but a lot of people speculating. Charles has been going to DC a lot. Is there anything you can share with us? Maybe.
Nothing that I know of.
Mm.
So I do know that he's on some ketamine. He's in this wolf mode, and he's definitely working on being friendlier with the rest of the crypto ecosystem, which is a tremendous improvement that we've seen the last couple of weeks. So hopefully he's at least in the room. I don't know about what level of importance, but we'll see.
You mean he doesn't text you right after he comes out of those meetings?
Not all the times.
Oh.
Every once in a while, he'll, I'm in the bath and he's like, "Hey, here's this crazy idea. What do you think of it?" But not every time. So no inside baseball for me on the Washington D.C. thing.
Yeah, I was as funny as about 3 weeks ago. I was out. I was eating dinner at a local restaurant over there by Aria, and then in comes Charles Hoskinson walking by for dinner. I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah, and
That's right. You told me.
I'm like, this is a small world, man. Obviously, he had a big crowd, so he had a large table. I didn't want to interrupt him, but I'm like,
You know what I was
I know him.
you know what I was thinking about? Actually, before I do that, Rob, let's take a look at the markets. I know BTC is down to under 92K.
All right, so let's take a peek. You got Bitcoin coming in at 91.79, so flirting underneath the 92,000. We did see an $89,000
Did my limit order
flash dip today. I don't and so depends on what exchange you're on. We did see as low as 88 on a couple more leverage based exchanges. Either way, quickly dipped under 90K, which going into a Monday makes me a little concerned. All right, we got a whole week. And if we started Monday off briefly under 90K,
you don't think Wall Street's going to buy the dip here?
I'm in the thing where, like, on Mondays and Fridays, if you test out a number, like Friday, for example, if you test out 100K and then you get rejected, I always got that sentiment that, hey, sometime between Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, we're gonna probably go over 100K again, and we tested it. Same thing for Mondays. And so now that we went underneath 90K, even though it was very brief, got a long week ahead of us, so, maybe that was just, the starting line. Maybe that was just the starting line,
That was
a little false start, you had your hands down and then you're like, go. And you're like, oh, okay, no. All right,
so disqualified.
Anyways, big number here to keep an eye on is Ethereum at $3,000. Oh, we lost it. Oh, so Ethereum at $3,000. So this big round number. This is where it's been at all year long. You go back on the 1 year, you can see that briefly trading over 3,000 and then under 3,000, and so pretty sticky number there. And so I know a lot of people have been kind of holding their breath for that $4,000 Ethereum, which we have very quickly got rejected off of twice this year. Will 2025 be a little bit more favorable to Ethereum?
A lot of people have lost. A lot of people have lost hope on ETH.
Well, on price, the developers are there. The ecosystem's growing. I think if you say people have lost faith, what I think it is I think that a lot of the new developers, a lot of the trending dApps, just aren't on ETH anymore. At least not in that same dominance that they had, right? And last bull market, 2021, I mean, you either built on ETH, and then on the back half of 2021, you were building a little bit on Solana. Other than that, it was just ETH, man. A little BNB sprinkled in there.
Robin, I wish we had a dev that we can. Oh, we do, Adam. What kind of trend are you seeing in the dev community? Is what Rob's saying kind of true? Or what's your kind of, from an anecdotal standpoint, I guess, or if you have some data to back it up, what are you seeing from the dev community and where they're deciding to go build?
No, so I definitely think that we're starting to see the culmination of this smart programmable money narrative that started with ETH, and it grew into all the L3s and L4s and whatever level of Ls we're on at this point, where the core L1s are really all about the financial settlement. And the root of trust and security. And then you build faster, less decentralized, more niche applications on separate side chains. And so we're seeing that in Cardano. We're seeing it in the Substrate ecosystem. We're seeing it in DOT and Cosmos. And so we're also seeing it in ETH. A lot of that developer activity has moved to the L2s, but they're all still settling back to the L1. So I think you'll start to see it be more of a Swift payment rail rather than a Zelle, where it's not the thing that the average everyday user is using, but all the devs, whether or not they like to admit it, are using it behind the scenes as their root of trust.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I still think ETH is going to run to 8K this year. I really do. Under $3,000. I mean, it's a little over. The 3 is where it's going to be at. And historically, Q1 has been very bullish for Ethereum. I was actually talking to Adam about this before the show, and I told him I was going to probably mess this up as I explain it. So here we go. 2020, we had the halving in May. We had the all-time high 7 months after, okay, in December. So 7 months after in December, we had an all-time high. This year, last year, we had the halving. In April, we saw an all-time high in March. So we were 1 month before. So we add the 1 month to the 7, we're at an 8-month accelerated cycle. So I just was curious. I'm like, okay, let's take a look at where we were last cycle with this time frame that we're in this cycle with when we hit the all-time high. So again, back in 2020, this is from CoinGlass, 7 months. So we hit our all-time high in December, right? We cleared the last cycle's all-time high in December. And so if we take April and we fast forward 8 months, that would be the November, would be the December of 2020, which similar, 38% in November, and December 2020 was 46%. And then in January of 2021, which would have been December of, see, I told you I was going to mess up, was going to be March of 2024. We saw 14% gains. We saw 17% gains. So what I'm trying to say is, if the math checks out and we are on the same path, but just an accelerated cycle, we're going to see a top in April, May. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts about that?
I think outside of the analytics you shared, I believe top for Bitcoin is late.
You still think it's going to be late like it was in 2021?
Yeah. I think that everything, okay, crypto kind of ran a little early, right? We had a new all-time high for Bitcoin prior to the halving, which was the first time that's ever happened. And then we had a really long consolidation. Remember it was 8-9 months where Bitcoin was around that 60K mark, and it took forever for it to break out up into the 100K mark. So I think that perhaps we consolidate again. Basically, it's less big, volatile roller coaster, climb up, break new all-time highs, massive green candles. I feel like that is less and less likely, in my opinion. And so for that reason, I think that everything kind of expands out, right? I think it takes longer for us to get to the all-time high. I think that it's going to be longer for us to get to the new cycle low after that, And so for me, I think that we probably will see multiple all-time highs for psych-outs. Last bull market, we saw a double top on Bitcoin's all-time high. We got up to that, $60,000, $70,000 range. Excuse me. And then it pulled back. It was like 2 months, 3 months, and then boom, new all-time high again. I think we see the same thing here, but I think it's going to be even more so. And so I think that at some point we hit some new all-time high. We got to pull back, kind of shake out money. We get talks of bear market, and we come back and do that again, rinse and repeat. And it's not anything that we haven't seen before in the traditional markets. And so from a price perspective, I think that everything's shaping up to not be massive, parabolic, crazy, go to the moon all of a sudden in 2 months. Bitcoin does move quite dramatically, but I still think that it's over the course of the year, $200,000, $300,000 Bitcoin. I think we kind of stair step our way up there. And that's I still hold for that all-time high late this year. Pull back. I think it carries on in 2026, man.
Really?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts here, Adam?
Well, I only know one thing for sure, and that's we started 2021 with record wildfires in California, and here we are in 2025.
You are correct.
LA's burning. Bring on the murder hornets and the all-time highs. Let's go.
That's right.
I didn't even. Yeah, you're right. 2021, we did see those big wildfires. Yeah.
Yeah, it started with the
2021 is the only year that has its own page for California wildfires.
That's crazy.
At least as far as I know. I only did research for 2021 though, so maybe the other years have it.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not sure.
started the week one was the Cybertruck, catching on fire, blowing up
Oh, yeah.
outside the Trump.
And the New Orleans
then,
thing, too, New Year's Eve.
then the next week was more fires. So it's
And I got family in LA, so if you're out in Southern California or Los Angeles area, you got family, I'm thinking about you guys, man. That shit sucks. A lot of people lost a lot of stuff there. So
yeah, it hasn't went out yet either, or hasn't been
just
contained.
growing. They're
So
saying like it's 100-mile-per-hour winds.
that was the first. I don't know if the winds picked up back up, but yeah, the first couple of days it was just
Insane.
it was spreading. I think it was 2 football fields every hour.
That's
Was the speed because of the winds. So.
that's
Yeah, so hopefully they get that contained. I know there's been a failure of management from Congress there in California, which is,
that was
it's
great.
dude, man, they're behind on crypto. They're behind on
Forestry, whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to the because we stopped at ETH, right? If you want to pull those markets back up, Rob, I want to share this post here. XRP has it had a little pump yesterday at around $2.60. Believe it's down, but a lot of people are saying, hey, is this thing getting ready to lift off? A lot of things happening with XRP and Ripple with their RLUSD stablecoin. And obviously, the markets and the Gary Gensler leaving and all that. So where is XRP right now, Rob, if you don't mind pulling that up? And what are you expecting price action-wise from XRP over the, to kind of end the month?
This is the 1-year chart. So for me, I know that everyone's expecting that big breakout. I would expect XRP to kind of hang out here and consolidate. I mean, it had a massive move. I mean, this chart kind of says it all, from 50 cents to $2.50, 5x out of XRP, and from November to December. So in less than 1 month, 5x. And so with Bitcoin's price kind of where it is now, I don't see a big move or a big breakout on XRP until we get a big move or big breakout out of Bitcoin. And so for me, unless I see $105,000, $110,000 Bitcoin, I'm probably not going to expect a big breakout from XRP. And so for me, I'll be sitting on the sidelines. However, I do think that XRP is still going to be one of the top performing assets. So I think that once we get a breakout, we know that Bitcoin moves and then altcoins typically follow. And so if Bitcoin makes a big breakout, I'd rather be an XRP than Solana. Rather be an XRP than SHIB, a few other. But either way, I think I think a breakout's coming, but the catalyst is going to be Bitcoin over 105,000. Other than that, I think we're just going to get some natural price movements between that $3 and $2 range. I know that's quite a big range there, but yeah. Also, looking down, talking about Cardano at 90 cents. And so I know a lot of people were kind of kicking themselves in the butt for not picking up Cardano when it was briefly over $1.10 earlier in the year. Also, you go back to December, is at $1.20, and so significantly cheaper now, 30% down from where it was just a little over a month ago. And it's I don't think it's. We have pretty damn strong support here at 85 cents. It's just a number that we went down and touched briefly back on New Year's Eve. And other than that, I think that 90 cents is a great entry point. I do think, obviously, where we stand on Cardano. I think it'll be over $2, $3 easily at some point this year. And so 90 cents, I think, is a great entry point. Definitely something I'm going to just kind of buy and forget. And then
set it and forget it.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a really good infomercial, by the way.
No, it wasn't. All right,
The
so
history ticket, you don't think it was?
not at all. And then taking a look at what's down the most on the 24 hours here. You got
Wait. Is that Athena? Where's it? What's Athena?
Athena's down 15% on the 24 hours, down 37%. This is almost down, nearing that 50-cent mark. I mean, take a look at the 1 week here. I mean, it was at $1.20.
Oh, I'm buying.
And it's down to 75 cents. You look back at I mean, you look back at the year, you can see that, it did have this breakout from, 37 cents was really the cheapest you could have got it at all last year. And now it's, not that far away from there, right? 75 cents, 37 cents, less than a 2x from its bottom. You could argue that Athena could be something that, gets to that, $5 range, $10 range, so. You said
I've been
you're,
waiting.
you're pretty pretty
Yeah,
bullish
I've
on that
been
entry.
waiting for this. Yeah.
Also, Pudgy Penguins keeps bleeding. This is another one that kind of just came out of nowhere. Airdrop essentially, and then some winners though. It's not all bad. Fartcoin is rising up.
There's a whale
creeping up the back of your shirt.
There's a whale that's just been just
hammering it.
Yeah, hammering buys on that.
And then taking a look, not much up on the week though. So big pullback. The only thing really holding strong would be XRP, as we mentioned, and BitGet token still.
Is XRP going to be the new BNB? Meaning that it's like the hedge in the
you
bear
know
market,
what?
right?
I mean, if it is,
because everything fell off by 70%.
I would say out of the top 10, if you exclude BNB, out of the top 10, I mean, one of the least volatile projects out there has to be XRP. I mean, it just consolidates, man. It does. It has these little breakouts here, but I mean, it pretty much was around 50 cents from all of 2022 to 2024, right? It was around 50 cents. Then you had that big breakout. Same thing for back in 2018, around 30 cents. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see. I wouldn't be surprised just to see us hang out here at, I already said it, 250. I think that's where we're going to hang out for a while, man. I truly believe it. And it'll take off again once Bitcoin's a new all-time, in price discovery, new all-time highs. So,
Adam, we kind of briefly spoke before we went live. Can you give us an update on what's going on with Cardano? I know we said January might be Chang part 2. Can you maybe give us some info and some alpha on the Cardano ecosystem and kind of what are some things that are in the pipeline? Oh, sorry. We got our producer trying to onboard here real quick. You're good, Jason. Let's get Adam on the screen there. There we go.
All right.
Hi, Adam.
All right. So, a lot of big things, in my opinion, going on in Cardano. Not all of them necessarily interesting to the wider crypto world, but we do have the Chang +1, now renamed to the Plomin hard fork, probably coming up in late January or early February. That's when we're going to fully unlock the on-chain governance, and our decentralized representatives are going to fully take the reins and be in control of the blockchain and what the policy gets set to. We've got multiple L2s like Hydra coming up in the pipeline, and it's really going to be a year for, I think, interoperability and L2 scaling on the Cardano ecosystem. So I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Any update on Midnight?
Last I heard, it's still set to go into some sort of a mainnet in 2025, but details are still a little bit sparse on Midnight, unfortunately.
And there's gonna be a lot that's gonna what's your one biggest what's one thing you're excited about with Midnight that is gonna bring to Cardano that we don't have yet?
So I guess the biggest thing that Midnight's going to bring to Cardano that we don't have right now is really that capability for privacy when you need it. So it doesn't really make sense for necessarily all applications to replicate over there, but when you do need it's decentralized ledger technology and you need privacy, you need that ZK kind of security. Midnight's going to provide that, and it's going to do it via its novel kind of two token system as well. I don't know if it's one of the first times that we see a 2 token system where the gas isn't necessarily the thing that has the value; it just pays for the transaction. So a lot of interesting things tech wise for me. Waiting to see. Cautiously optimistic at this point.
I know you're in town for the set up the Doom tournament here in Las Vegas at the HyperX Arena. Which, by the way, if you ever get a chance to come down, if you're a fan of video games and you come down to Las Vegas, The Luxor, the giant pyramid looking thing, that has a gaming arena in there with a giant LED wall and a big stage where you have your final contestants for a video game tournament. I'll play there. We're going to be hosting the Doom tournament there. Something we're excited about. Something I got hands-on experience with during the Rare Evo convention here in Las Vegas as well. And Doom, we know blocks have been validated and processed on the Hydra network. And you could get, you could keep your statistics or your rankings and your kills, and how your performance essentially is stored on the blockchain. You log in with your Vesper wallet, and then at the end of the match, you can see or validate your game history. And so we're moving that tournament over here to or the finals are here in Las Vegas. And so I know Hydra, something a lot of people were really bullish on. Did you want to speak on the tournament at all, and perhaps maybe expand on what Doom is meant for Hydra? Because I think it's more like for me, it's like validating, like, hey, look how many transactions did we do? 15 million just in 24 hours?
It was 15 million or 15 billion. We hit a million transactions. Well, it had to be more than 15 million because we hit a million transactions per second.
Oh, okay.
That was in December when I was in Buenos Aires. And
Yeah.
got the text on my phone. I was running around the party I was at like an idiot. But we arbitrarily hit a million transactions per second. Not really useful, but we proved that we could, and kind of why TPS isn't the be-all, end-all measurement of blockchains. But yeah, Doom, for me, has been really exciting for unlocking people's thought process about what they can do with Hydra. In an isomorphic state channel, and how you can use it to leverage the same security guarantees that you get from the L1 while doing things that are really fast, and nobody really cares about the middle. They care about where you start and where you end up is the really critical part. And I think that's where Hydra shines without having to create a whole new network, without having to create a whole new token. You just go briefly outside of the L1, do your work, and then you settle back onto it in a finished state. So it's been really exciting from a tech demo perspective. And yeah, like you said, we're doing next Friday, the 24th, at HyperX from, I want to say it's noon to 5. We're going to have some...
Open to the public, right?
Open to the public, yeah. So whatever capacity is of HyperX, I've never been there, so that's why I'm going
it's pretty big, man. It's
put
huge.
Boots on the ground. So yeah, people can come out. They're going to be able to test out a couple of different games on Cardano, including Ascent Rivals and the Hydra Doom demo that you guys got to play at Rare Evo. We're going to have some musical guests, some special speakers and keynotes, and just a good time trying to kind of introduce the gaming world to the crypto space by way of Cardano.
Amazing. Yeah, we're excited, man. I plan on being there. I don't know about Rob, but all right. We have a special guest joining us today. It's his first time joining the show. He is the founder of Mode, which is a player in the infrastructure space for AI. We have James Ross joining us for the first time. James, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I'm David, my co-host Robin here. I was, I'm pretty deep in the AI trenches and constantly looking at new accounts to follow. And I came across Mode, and, I read the Mode stack, the article you guys put out. I think it was like 4 or 5 days ago. And, I reached out to you via Twitter. I said, hey, would you like to come on our show and talk to our community about what you guys are doing with Mode and kind of your thoughts on AI and where that is going? So thanks for joining us. Since it's your first time, James, you mind giving a little intro about yourself to the people watching?
Yeah, for sure. So, my name's James. I've been building in the space for around 7 years. I've really been focused the last few years on like the intersection of DeFi and AI. Founded Mode as layer 2, which would focus on bringing new innovative products to market within the ecosystem, especially focused on DeFi. And yeah, earlier in the year, we started looking at, or started seeing how AI in Web 2 was just it was just taking over everything. And we're thinking, well, how can we use all this amazing tech that's being built to progress decentralized finance? And yeah, started looking into different types of products, protocols, teams, in Web 2 and Web 3 space, we started an accelerator. We've been running hackathons, and we saw the first DeFi agents go live on Mode that actually manage your assets, your crypto assets for you and earn for you while you sleep a couple months ago. And now, yeah, we've really been trying to scale that up as much as possible. And as you mentioned, we put out our vision, which we call like Mode 2025, the DeFi AI stack, or DeFi AI stack, as everyone's calling it now. And that laid out, yeah, what we're trying to do here, which is build out a data layer, build out a infrastructure layer, and build out a interface or application layer to make it much easier for people to interact with DeFi protocols.
Awesome. I'm curious, James. Are you more of a fan of DeFi AI or AI-fi? I've seen both. Well, what do you like better?
Well, back in October, we actually were calling it AI-fi, and we were really trying to push AI-fi as like the term, but it didn't seem to take off, especially with people in the DeFi space or like more crypto natives. Because for them, it just sounds like AI-fi is like AI and finance. So this DeFi AI, I actually don't like the term. It's kind of hard to say, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of annoying to say, but it does kind of describe what it is.
That's true.
Kind of decentralized finance AI. Yeah, I guess it works. I mean, when you read it, it kind of works.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it slowly, right? The vowels and the consonants, you say really slowly. I'm curious, James. We see a lot of buzzwords thrown around in the space, and AI and yield. From a consumer perspective, what is DeFi AI, right? What is it? Like, how is it going to help the average person? You mentioned, portfolio, or I don't know if you said portfolio management, but earning money while you sleep. How does that work? What does it look like? And how is it going to help people, the average person in the crypto space, make money in crypto?
Absolutely. So if you have a crypto portfolio, if you have some Ethereum, if you have some USDC, USDT, you can have it sitting in your wallet, or you can deposit it into different types of protocols to earn on it, right? You can stake it. You can lend it out in DeFi protocols like AAVE, Morpho. There's one on Mode called Ionic. You can put it into a liquidity pool. So you use that asset to provide liquidity and you earn fees. There's many different ways you can earn. The problem is they're quite hard to do unless you've been using crypto for a while, unless you've really learned how to do this effectively. And so the way I look at DeFi AI is it's essentially using all the great tools we have for AI right now, like these kind of ChatGPT style interfaces, right? Where you can just type in, take my USDC and earn yield on lending protocols. And the agent will do exactly that. It will take your USDC, your $100, put it into a lending protocol, and it will say, you're now earning 7% a year on this. So it's really like an interface layer. And when you get into like more complex things, like asking it to run a trading strategy, there's lots of different data sources that you need to be looking at to run like an effective trading strategy. But a DeFi agent can do this for you. You can just say to the agent, trade USDC for ETH when ETH hits a certain price point, and trade it back when it hits another certain price point. And the agent can do that for you, right? So for me, it's like a massive step change in the way that we interact with blockchains. And a few months back, I said that I think 80% of blockchain transactions are going to be run by agents. And I very much think that could be like, I said it was going to happen by 2026. Now I'm thinking by the end of 2025,
Really?
the majority of transactions we make on chain are going to be done by agents or via like this type of interface.
So
I'll say that, I feel like there's always this talk of like eventually wallets are going to be easy, sending money is going to be easy, and it's always this eventuality that the infrastructure will be built, or is being built now, and look how far we've come. And at the end of the day, I'm still like having to write down the seed phrase and then copy my address and then move it over here and make sure it's on the right network. And it's just these massive complexities from top to bottom, as you were kind of alluding to. And I still believe that, the base, the layer ones and the foundations and these big protocols, they're going to polish it up so that way it's more seamless. And we're starting to see that done currently through like, web browser addresses and things of that nature. We're getting there, but it's taken forever, right? It's like, my God, it's still like we talk about maybe, hey, this is getting easier, but AI is closing that gap real quick. And so now, it's like, hey, yes, the big protocols will build it. When are they going to build it? When is it going to be done? When is it going to be easy for my dad to, swap crypto, even though he's not at all tech savvy in that space? And I think the AI and AI agents particularly are just filling that gap right now and putting that Band-Aid on the complexities. And as you mentioned, how the hell do you, I know how to stake on a couple chains. I know how to provide liquidity on a couple chains, but we know that the crypto ecosystem is vast. My portfolio is huge. And so I got all kinds of assets just sitting around, gathering dust and also incurring value as well. But, it's obvious for me. It just seems like an immediate patch or an immediate fix to ease and to relieve the complexity. That's what I'm really excited about. And that's what I see the immediate results from AI is.
I'm curious, James. A lot of people watch crypto channels like ours because they want to make sense of information and they want to use that information to make money. Now, we don't give financial advice here, right? Disclaimer. But if someone were to agree with your thesis on 2025, agents are going to run 80% of transactions, how are you looking to position yourself to capture all that money that is going to be made? Is it on the layer 2 level? Is it on the agent level, holding agent tokens? Like, what is the strategy maybe you've thought about or are currently taking to make sure to capture some of those gains that we're going to see if your thesis comes true this year?
So generally, I think that interfaces are going to capture a lot more value. So the application layer, the interface layer, whether that is like a web app, whether that's a wallet, whether that's even like an iOS app. I think we've already started to see applications capture a lot more value. Now with AI, where they can capture like a huge amount more value. I think there's also going to be a significant amount of value in this like data layer, and especially what everyone's calling inference, which is verifying on-chain and off-chain data. So there are lots of great projects building in this space. There's now a DeFi AI category on CoinMarketCap. They just added it like a few days ago. So I would recommend people check out these projects. I think that in general, like this should boost activity across DeFi. There are projects like Pendle, which are very much for advanced users or advanced DeFi users. They're complex. AI gives an opportunity for like any user to run a strategy there. And not really have to worry about it, right? They can deposit into Pendle and the strategy can be managed by AI. And that's great for a user. They don't have to go in and check on it every few hours, every couple of days, put it in, and then, at the end of the strategy, they can withdraw. So, I think the best thing to do for people, looking to kind of take advantage of this is research, this new wave of like DeFi AI protocols, play around with them, use them. And there's also lots of great agent builders right now, and agents being built. I would say play around with them, use them, see what they're doing. Some of it is, not great to use, and some of it is really impressive. Just like with ChatGPT, right? It's like people just have to go there, use it, start learning how to do prompts. And then you kind of see the power of it, right? It kind of grows.
Amazing. We had a question from one of our community members. Says when he says wallet, Is that a hot wallet, or can we do this from like a hardware wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor?
So yeah, you can connect to a lot of these agents via your ledger, and you can deposit into like a smart contract wallet. So I think one thing to take note of is a lot of these protocols, like agent protocols, work in different ways. So we have one on mode right now called Giza. This manages your stablecoin yield. So you deposit USDC, USDT, and then it moves your USDT or USDC around to different places. And you deposit, like through MetaMask or with your ledger, into a smart contract wallet that is owned by the agent, right? But it's also owned by you and your private key. So, yeah, you interact with your wallet. But yeah, in some cases, there's another wallet created, which is managed by your agent.
Awesome. This is such a fascinating space and a great conversation. James, I won't take up too much of your time, man. I just want to thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on. Love all the great information. We'd love to bring you on again in the future to kind of give an update on the space and, of course, what you guys are doing on Mode. So, guys, I'd recommend you go follow James on X. His handle is JRossTreacher. There's his handle. Go follow him and then go read this. This was very interesting. This is kind of what led me to reach out to James. Highly recommend you guys go read it. The space is moving fast and it's growing. And if what James said comes true, at 2025, 80% of these agents are going to want to be that are running transactions. You're going to want to be positioned to make sure you capitalize on that. So James, thank you again, brother, and have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
No problem, brother. Take care. 80%, huh? That's I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? You know, he talks about, you know, every network is different. Some are easier to like. My question is, does this take the edge away from a project like Solana that has been touted, and myself, retail friendly? The apps are very retail friendly. It's easy to use. That's the narrative that people are saying. Is that going to take that edge away from projects like that and kind of make it an even playing field across the board?
I don't think so. I think like my big takeaway is that, you know, there's a lot of applications and a lot of techniques and a lot of strategies that, well, whales and institutions use and venture capital and, well, you know, the smart money, they're privy to certain advantages, right? And I think that AI really kind of breaks down the barrier for entry. And so, you know, who's providing liquidity realistically, right? We know who's providing liquidity. It's a very, very small percentage. The top most influential projects out there. And so with that said, I think now retail can do more than just simply buy and sell. And, you know, a lot of those roadblocks, as we mentioned before, as I was alluding to, was just because things are complex. They're not easy and, you know, it's confusing. And so if you can allow people to make money in the same way that the whales do and the institutions do, and give them their tools without the complexity, via AI, this makes sense. Numbers like 80%. I don't know. I think that's a little more. And I still think that, you know what, people are going to buy and sell, and, you know, you're going to have a lot of your transactions going through your limit orders. I think that the traditional DeFi with swaps and getting early allocation, that's still going to be king. But I think that market is going to get captured by AI in a good percentage. I don't know if it gets quite as high as 80%, but I could see AI really making a dent into the DeFi space, and maybe it gets up to 50%, man. I think numbers like that is still wildly ambitious if you're a fan of AI.
What are your thoughts, Adam?
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of looking at some of the comments here. I'm in the same don't trust, verify boat. Like, how do I know that this AI agent is actually making the right plays? How do I know that somebody's not front running me, right? We've heard all of these PvP sniper bots and arbitrage bots and how retail is just the exit liquidity. Like, how do I know there's not somebody on top of that AI bot just kind of front running all my trades?
That's a great question, man. These are great questions. No, absolutely.
So yeah, so definitely, you know, once everybody has bots, I think, yeah, you get into this kind of AI future where it's just bots competing
Bot
against
wars.
bots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if your bot is taking advantage of market inefficiencies
Of another bot.
we know that well, people with more money and more resources are going to come out with a bot to step over top of yours, and it's not really a theory. I think it's just the law of nature and the law of technology, and that's how it is, right? One country might all of a sudden develop some technology that gives them an edge up, a military edge up, and it might be short lived, but at some point the larger superpowers are going to gain in that area, right? It's no different. It's just technology. That's how it grows, it scales, and unfortunately, the most powerful companies are going to probably take advantage. The one hesitancy I have is letting an AI agent essentially rehypothecate your funds into other yield-bearing products, and that is still a soft spot for me, man. We saw the collapse.
We let banks do it, right?
Yeah, but you know what? It's
I know.
it's still early, and that whether or not you personally stake your wallet into a platform or AI does it, if the platform pulls liquidity access, goes under, whatever it is, I don't care what kind of AI bot you have. If the door is closed, however your money got in there, the door is closed. And so that is always something I would be concerned about. I'm not sure.
Definitely a lot of questions. A lot of good questions are going to come out of this, but it's still intriguing to see how this thing's going to play out. I saw a comment in there about here. I'll just share this. So Nvidia stock and AI tokens crash after Biden administration's new export AI chips rule. The White House announced that the rule would restrict the number of AI processors known as GPUs that most countries can order without a special license to 50,000. So they're not going to have this limit on any of their allies, including the UK, Canada, Germany, Japan, Taiwan, and South Korea, but obviously Russia, China, some of the other ones. Rob, do you see, or Adam, I guess I'll ask you first, do you see this as a threat to the growth of AI, not just in crypto, but just in general, if we're going to start seeing some of these kind of firewalls, so to say, I don't know if this is the right word to use, firewalls for these companies that are building, maybe they're not in the US, maybe it's a company building in China. Now they can't really buy the hardware they need. Do you see this as a threat to this industry?
Oh, absolutely. But it's nothing new, right? We've been doing it since I think the 40s and post World War II in terms of restricting who gets access to what high grade electronic components, and usually a very US centric dominated policy there. So do those countries get their hands on it just in other ways, through a black or a gray market? Do they have to move operations into US-friendly countries? I don't think you're going to see it slow down necessarily, but maybe the geography of who's dominating changes with these policies, or it just becomes more expensive to operate and puts everybody onto a slightly more fair playing field. So time will tell.
Stan in the chat says GPUs are the new nukes. And you know what? I can't even argue with that, honestly. I mean, obviously, compute power, we know that a lot of, I don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole, but you have all of these drones out here. How much do they leverage AI, or at least how much compute power are they going to need to accurately do their thing? And so I think it's not only just your video gamers trying to scoop up graphics cards, not only your AI companies like ChatGPT or X that are trying to get a hold of the graphic power or GPU compute, but I think nation states are going to start buying a lot of this as well. So, is that going to pour over into crypto? I know there's certain projects that are leveraging blockchain technology and maybe tying together mining, or what used to be compute power used for mining and moving that over to compute power for AI. I know that's kind of a thing now. So it's kind of interesting to see how this landscape is shaping up. 2025 is going to be super interesting, man. You had the bull market, you got Donald Trump No, Donald Trump campaigned on making America, making Bitcoin made in America again is, something.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, not really. I don't think I think he's like imagining someone working in like a factory,
Well,
just,
minting coins.
just stamping Bitcoins.
Remember,
like,
this guy has been the president. Does he know something that we don't? And
Yeah.
he just leaked,
I know.
unintentionally.
he's like, I typed Bitcoin in the search engine and I saw the coins on the images. There's a hardware version.
I have instructed the Treasury Department to mint Bitcoins. You can definitely see that. Guys, we are excited to announce, this has been a long time coming, but we've launched a Patreon. And so we haven't really, we launched it yesterday, so it's fairly new. But all the stuff you get in the Whale Discord over the next 30 days will move into Patreon. You're going to get the alpha that you're getting in Whale Discord now. You're going to get that in Patreon with the addition of trading. You're going to get some trading plays. You're going to get, Rob has his own channel. Rocco's going to have a channel. And also, once we hit, I think the number we decided on was 50 members, Ashley's channel will open up.
Oh my God.
Ashley's channel will open up, and we're going to do some giveaways with that. It's going to be a fun channel. Our goal with this was to create a community of not just people sharing, tips, tricks, and making money, but also something fun, something engaging. And so if you want to support the channel, highly recommend go become a Patreon member. You'll get access to the Discord. One thing I will say, if you do sign up, make sure you link your Discord to your Patreon because it'll automatically give you access to all the Patreon channels in our Discord. And to be fair to the Whale members, those of you that just signed up maybe over the last week, for the next 30 days, all the AI alpha and everything I've already been posting in the Whale Discord that I'm now posting in Patreon, I will cross-post them into the Whale chat. That way, those of you that signed up maybe a day ago aren't getting hosed. So you still get that information. What I'd recommend is if you want to keep both, great. But if you just want the alpha and the info, move over to Patreon because in 30 days, all that info is going to be in the Patreon channel. So shout out to the people that have already signed up. We know Destroyer signed up, Broke Yoshi signed up. We had a few people that I haven't seen in the live show sign up. And so to all of you, your support means a lot to us. And so thank you so much. We're excited for that. We also want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by CAMS, Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how CAMS can help your business scale and grow and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity, which I think is going to get even more important with the growth of AI, you're going to want to have a team by your side. And these guys are the absolute real deal. We worked with them for the last 2.5-3 years almost. So big shout out to them. The link is in the description of the video. Adam and I, go ahead.
I was going to chime in on the Patreon as well. This helps us out. So not only are you going to get product in return, you're going to get a lot of, first information to hit, alpha, whatever you want to call it. Basically, we're just going to kind of give you our trading strategies and, what we're looking at in the crypto space. So, we try to deliver what we can here on our live show, but, there's a lot of like smaller projects, early investments, things that we don't really share. It might be a little too risk on for our viewers here. And we don't really want to highlight a project that's tiny on our live show because then, you got market manipulation, things like that. So if you just want to, get some plugs on some amazing plays as far as what we're interested in, check it out. Also, it just helps us out. You want to help the brand, even if you don't use it a lot. I'll just be honest with you. You know what? That's how we fund this channel is through programs like that, through Patreon. We don't take any money here. We reinvest everything. So if you want to see our company grow, come support the boys. Come support through Patreon. Also, did want to say had a new Whale member join us yesterday. So Space Goat. I don't know if you're watching today, but big shout out to Space Goat. Whale community is growing pretty quickly as well, and updated the credits as well. So all of our newest Whale members, your names will be added to the credits as well. So
amazing. Also, if you're a fan of Cardano, I'm keeping Adam hostage here for the next hour after the show. We're going to film 2 Cardano videos. You do not want to miss them. We're going to talk about how AI is fitting in with Cardano and one project that is really looking to accelerate that sector in the Cardano ecosystem. The second video got a lot of questions when, the whole thing with CF went down and how they kind of nuked that catalyst vote. A lot of people were asking, well, how do we vote? We're going to make a voting on Cardano for dummies video. So we're going to do that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have your notification bell on. And Adam, before we sign off, want to thank you so much for coming in the studio and joining us, man. We love having you here. You're a great guy, and we love what you're doing in the Cardano community. Any parting words before I tornado us out of here?
No, thanks for having me again, and yeah, looking forward to it. We'll see you next time.
Amazing. Will you bring me a cowboy hat next time you come?
Maybe.
Okay. Chase. Sound effects. Tornado. Guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. The markets might be down, but our spirits are up. Why? Because we know 2025 is going to be an amazing year. We're excited for you to join us on this journey. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us meme coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon, then to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.